I'm Deb Caletti. Watch me get interviewed. Great. I think it's good for us as artists, let alone our audience, to just kind of get our feet wet into other kinds of arts as well, because there's just such a similarity in the act of creating. So I think it's fun for us to talk to the other artists and talk to the different kinds of audience members that we wouldn't normally get just about creating, and that's when you find how similar it really is to make a song, to making a book. You know, just that act of creating has so many similarities. The way we access a character is not too different than how someone access lyrics or the emotion of a song.
And it seems
a song is really the shortest short story, isn't it? I mean, the really good ones tell that story, and you're right in there, and it's got a voice. It's got all the essential elements that literature has. A character, just that raw emotion. I think I kind of envy that with musicians, to be able to access that in such a raw way, where we have to kind of struggle over paragraphs to get that same moment that a song can get. You know, you get the few right notes and a lyric, and you're there. We might take a couple paragraphs to get that same thing. I think that the biggest thing that I would want people to realize is what hard work it is to create a book or any kind of written work. I'm sure musicians have come across the same thing, is that it's hard work, and it's not something. It's a craft that we may take years before we're able to get it right. To think that you can just write something and then you're going to be successful and it's going to get published is just it's like thinking that you just learned to play the piano and now can go on stage. I call my profession the 99.5% profession, because those are the odds, or maybe even greater than that. 99.5 to 99.8% of people who will attempt will not get published. I mean, this is like one of the big dream professions, that like being a musician, you know, where you sometimes it takes years and perseverance and maybe talent too. The wonderful Vulcan Productions and is teaming up with another just fabulous feature film company that I can't tell you all about yet, but oh wow, I can just say that my books are going to be in great hands, and they're going to attempt to do something that we haven't seen before, which is a series of films, a series of feature films. So it's kind of exciting, and it's also one of these things that you don't expect anyone to ever say to you, that we want to make films of all 5 of your books that are out now. I still can't. I still kind of think, am I actually really saying those words? so that's what's in the plans right now. I'm kind of thinking that we've talked about my involvement as a screenwriter, and yet I'm also thinking that I would really like to have that in the hands of a screenwriter, given that I'm a novelist. I just really want them to be in the best hands possible. I would like this to come out in the best way possible. And just like I was saying before, where it can take years to learn your craft, I don't feel like I can assume I'm a screenwriter because I can write a novel. So I'd really like them to be in the best hands possible, which would be in the hands of a really great screenwriter. Because I think that at heart, novelists especially, it's a tough thing to call us out to be out in the world, and so you do this really enclosed thing where it's just you and your dog, like I was saying, and then you're way out in the world, and so I'm most happy and most comfortable in my robe at home, going and pouring another cup of coffee, talking to my imaginary friends. But I don't mind this part too. Temperamentally, writers come a little different than other people. We're just different. I think that we're observers, and observers mean, if you're an observer, it means to stand apart. and less than to be a part of. And so it is a little bit unnatural. I think you have to put in your author outfit, you know, your author, I don't know, get into that character, sort of. We're just different from musicians again. They have to be able to manage both. We have to manage both too, but yeah, I think it's a little less natural than that. Oh, I was so proud about that. I was part of a book that spoke anthology of works about the Chronicles of Narnia, and I was so proud when I got to do this. I had to tell my kids, guess what, because it was like my all-time favorite book when I was growing up. So I just love the books. I love just the simple word usage. I just love that when they step through the wardrobe, and there's all the religious aspects and all that other stuff. I don't know, whatever about that part. That's a terrible thing to say, and that's the whole thing, right? Okay, but for me, that is really bad because it's all about that. Of course, I didn't realize that when I was reading them, and then later on, oh wow, this is about okay. What I loved was the snow falling, the crunch of the snow that they hear, when they step through that wardrobe, when it's falling, when there's a lamppost out in the. Oh yeah, that's what I think makes it last.